Another benefit of this, and it's a very important benefit, that Iman, belief in Allah, is more than just acknowledging the truth of the Prophet ﷺ. In other words, and this is again a deep point of theology, but it's one that needs to be said. The perception that some Muslims have. What is the definition of a Muslim? Somebody who says the Prophet ﷺ is telling the truth. This is the definition for some people. But it is not. That is not the academic definition. Because Abu Talib believed that the Prophet ﷺ was telling the truth. He has said so himself. He said it to him directly on his deathbed, that I would have said La ilaha illallah, but I don't want them to criticize me. I know what you're saying is true. Right? He's affirming that he knows the truth, but he refuses to accept. Therefore, somebody who knows the truth doesn't mean that that person is a Muslim. It's a very deep point here. What is a Muslim then? Someone who submits to the truth. Because the meaning of Islam is not knowledge, it is submission. That's what Islam means, right? To merely know the truth doesn't make you a Muslim. Iblis knows the truth. Iblis accepts everything in his heart. He knows it conceptually. Think about it. Does Iblis deny that Allah is the Rabb? No. In fact, Iblis affirms Allah is my Rabb. And he says to Allah, Rabbi, Qala Rabbi. Iblis is saying in the Quran, Qala Rabbi. And Iblis affirms that the prophets are prophets. Iblis does not deny that Adam is a prophet. Iblis does not deny that Allah sends prophets, right? He knows this. Iblis does not deny that there's a day of judgment. قَالَ رَبِّ أَنظِرْنِي إِلَى يَوْمِ يُبْعَثُونَ. Right? Allow me to live until the day of judgment. In fact, Iblis even worships Allah occasionally, because he makes dua to Allah to allow him to live. Right? If he didn't worship Allah, he wouldn't make dua to Allah. Yet is Iblis a mu'min? Does Iblis have Iman in Allah? Obviously not. Aba wastakbara wa kana minal kafirin. Allah calls him a kafir. How is he a kafir if he knows Allah to be true, and knows the prophets to be prophets, and knows that Allah gives life and resurrects? And how is he a kafir? Allah says, Aba. He refused to obey when Allah told him to do something. Wastakbara. He was too arrogant to prostrate. Right? And therefore, a kafir can be somebody who doesn't know the truth. A kafir can be somebody who doesn't recognize the truth. A kafir can be somebody who rejects the truth. But a kafir can also be somebody who knows the truth, but for some reason, whatever that reason might be, refuses to act upon it. And this gets to the very controversial issue. I'm just going to mention it, make your mind stimulated, but unfortunately I don't have time to whip up a nice academic talk now. I give that in other places. But what do we say then to the Muslim who knows Islam to be, I call him Muslim meaning he calls himself Muslim, right? Who knows Islam to be true, but he never does anything that he is required to do. Think about the question here. The Muslim who knows, meaning he calls himself Muslim, right? What is the difference between Abu Talib and such a Muslim? In that they both recognize Allah is one. Abu Talib did not worship idols, we know this, right? Abu Talib did not, his poetry is pure Tawheed. He knows idolatry is ridiculous. So they recognize Allah is one, they recognize the Prophet is a true prophet, but the both of them are refusing to submit to the laws of Islam. The only difference is that the one says, I'm a Muslim, and the other says, I'm not. And in fact, the one who says he's not a Muslim, linguistically it makes more sense, because he understands what a Muslim is. And so he said, I haven't submitted, so I'm not a Muslim. Whereas the one who says he's a Muslim is saying, I submit, but in action he's not submitting at all. Right? And therefore, and this is, I know this is a deep topic, but the fact of the matter is, somebody who says he or she is a Muslim, but never, ever does anything of this religion. He doesn't pray, he doesn't fast, he doesn't give zakah, he doesn't do anything of the sharia of this religion. This theoretical saying, I'm a Muslim, is not much different than the iman, quote unquote, of Abu Talib and of Iblis. It's not much different. Think about it, right? It's not much different. And as for the ahadith, whoever says La ilaha illallah will enter Jannah, we need to understand this in light of the other ahadith as well. Whoever says La ilaha illallah sincerely, whoever says La ilaha illallah from the heart, all of these things come into play. There are conditions attached, right? Not simply verbally saying that, but whoever says upon it and acts upon it properly. This is the one who shall enter Jannah. And Abu Talib's story proves this. That Abu Talib had what we call theoretical iman. But that theoretical iman didn't benefit him. And in fact, one final point with regards to this issue, that is why it is incorrect to translate iman as faith. Because iman is not just faith. You can say Abu Talib had faith. Think about it. You can say Iblis has faith. Think about it. Do you know what faith means? Iblis has it. Because Iblis believes things to be true. But that doesn't make Iblis a mu'min. So iman and faith are not synonymous. Faith is but one part of iman. You need to have faith to have iman, but iman is more than faith.